All right, we're getting into our final five. Our final five questions for Mr. Dan here today. We're going to go through these as quickly as you want to, or as detailed as you want to. But I like to ask these five questions to all of our guests here at the On Purpose Investor podcast. Number one, what advice would you give to investors getting started today?
Well, that's just it. You have to get started. You have to take action. You have to keep moving forward. Do something every single day, like you said earlier, with hyper intentionality to move the needle forward. Um, Finding those mentors were key for me through the local landlord associations, through the local real estate associations. And they may not be that local. I mean, you still may have to drive. I mean, ours is my one group I'm in was an hour and 15 minutes away. So you may have to put in some time, but you'll learn a lot from them and you could grow with them. And eventually you may become business partners with them. But that's just a great thing that I had done. When I first started out, books are cheap and or free, and podcasts are cheap or free, and you can just there's so much good content out there to learn and just keep moving forward. Learn from those mentors. Take action. You don't win a game of chess on your first move. It takes several moves to win the game, but you won't win unless you start making moves. So you got to go.
That is a profound statement there. Confucius say. I like that. I want to get your face on a poster and put that on it because it's really good statement. It's a really good statement. You do not win a game of chess, which is a very mind thoughtful game. You don't win a game of chess on the first move. You got to keep making moves. You got to you got to have a strategy. You got to make sure you're moving to whatever strategy you have. Oh, good answer. Awesome answer. So, do you have any YouTube or podcast shows that you would recommend to our listeners? And if you have one, it could be your own. If you're getting started to launch one or getting ready to launch one, let us know.
No current plans at the moment, but I'll let you know for sure.
Awesome.
I've honestly really enjoyed your podcast. On Purpose Investor has been wonderful. It's even better when Tiffany's on. No offense, Aaron.
Yeah, she'll come back. She'll come back.
Um, but Bigger Pockets podcasts, I mean, they got like a million podcasts now, so it's just they
Hmm.
have all kinds of content there. And then another one I listen to is the Mindset Mentor with Rob Dial. That's a good one. You can never have enough information just trying to get your mind right and in the right mood. So that's a good one to listen to,
Yes.
and I enjoy that one as
Yeah.
well.
Tiffany, she is a podcast junkie, and she really enjoys the Mindset Mentor. As if you've listened to any of the On Purpose Investor going back to the first few episodes, you'll know that Tiffany and I got started by randomly uh, getting a rental property. And then I was a bad landlord, and she said, "Hey, let's figure this out." And then we made it to Bigger Pockets and bought Brandon's book and became landlords and really dove in and figured it out. But yeah, back then, Bigger Pockets probably only had like 200 or 300 episodes at that point. But now they've got 5 different brands of podcast, and each one probably has 5 to 20,000 episodes. So yeah, you're right. But it's still good content. I would recommend our listeners, if they go to Bigger Pockets, jump to the earlier stuff because there's some awesome content. The new stuff's good too. I'm not knocking them, but that old stuff, the OG BP, is my
Hmm.
favorite.
Yeah, and they have so many. I mean, you can focus and pick which
Mhm.
ones pertain to you, and just you could do it that way if you like as well to try and focus on the content on your niche and focus.
Before I jump to the next question, I just have a thought that just entered my mind. Do you feel like the real estate investing space, the educational side of it especially, has just like skyrocketed in the past like 3 to 5 years?
I don't know if it's skyrocketed or I've just realized more and more over time the amount of content that's really out there. I
Yeah.
think it
Hmm.
definitely has grown quite a bit for sure.
Yeah.
Um, I'm sure 2008 hurt some people and probably a lot of people backed out and a lot of people are now back in. So there's
Yeah.
just so much content
That's a
for
good
sure.
point. I just felt like I would ask you. You're always full of good things to say. So, if you had to pick one book that you feel made the biggest impact on your life, what book would that be?
Well, it's absolutely Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. That's the one that really lit the fire in me. I mean, if Devin hadn't told me to read that book, I don't know if I'd have any rentals or what I'd be doing or where I'd be right now. But I mean, that one really got me going. It got me excited. And a month later, I had a house under contract. So that one for sure. But there's lots of good real estate books out there.
Hmm.
Lots of good books on your mentality and just learning and trying to keep the right mindset. But that's a really good book.
Right.
Yeah,
And you would have never gone and bought that first property 30 days later had you never taken action. So that just relates back to the answer to your first question.
yeah. My more recent book that really has done a lot for me was the one I mentioned earlier, the My Solo 401k book.
Hmm.
It's a tough read, but it's awesome, and just the stuff that I'm doing now with buying a lot of rentals in my 401k and them cash flowing and not having to worry about the stock market has just been a lot of fun as well,
Right.
to move things forward. So that's another one I'd recommend.
Absolutely, man. So, number 4, what do you feel has been the secret sauce to your success?
Well, like I've kind of said earlier, networking for sure. Finding those mentors. They help me meet other people. They help me meet my banker, my realtor, my contractor. Even just without those mentors and networking early on, I wouldn't even known what the next step really was, or who really should even be on my team, or what I should even look out for. But that was huge for me, and just helping me move forward and helping me successfully move forward is the biggest thing, is meeting the right people for sure, and just bouncing ideas off. We went through a house. They would tell me all the stuff that was wrong with it. I had no clue. I didn't know anything about houses when I got started. So that was great for me. Learning from the local apartment associations, like I said before, and the landlord associations, whatever it is, real estate associations, or if you have to, finding a way to start your own if there isn't one.
Yeah, absolutely. And so, how would someone find like an apartment association or a real estate association to go, to go to? How would someone find that?
Well, I mean, there's the biggest one right now is, I think, National RIA, and there's the RIAs are different. Some are better than others, but you can just Google National RIA or RIA, REIA, near me. You could probably try Googling a local apartment association or landlord association. It
Hmm.
really depends on how big your community is. We're in small towns here, so it might be a little bit more difficult to find it versus in a city where they probably already definitely have some big RIAs established.
Yeah,
But you can also just go on Facebook Marketplace and see who's posting places for rent and message those landlords. That's another way to meet them and chat them up, would just be to do that.
absolutely. Remember, when you reach out to these people, try to add value
Oh,
because
absolutely.
no
Absolutely.
no one likes the random, text or Facebook message of, "Hey, I want to pick your brain." It's like, can we do something a little past that? Because, I like helping people, but also like tell me something good. Like, go door knocking with me, or go
Hmm.
find some deals. Let's do them together. I don't want to just let you pick my brain. I want to have a relationship. I want to build together.
Yeah.
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 So
Maybe they'll partner on some deals with you.
absolutely. Yeah. We I won't get into that story, but we had a young kid that joined us and helped us on our team for a little bit, and we have a great relationship now, and we're helping him, and he added a huge amount of value to us, and we're trying to push it forward and pay it forward and help him out. So there's a lot of symbiotic relationships that can come from people just reaching out to you and say, hey, I don't want to just pick your brain. I want to help you be even more successful. I want to help you be so successful that I just am benefiting from the radiation of it. So if you're looking for to reach out to someone like that, do that. But that secret sauce being networking, I think not a lot of people would say, not a lot of people do say networking. I think that's hyper important that you because relationships matter so
Oh,
much.
absolutely.
Uh, People undervalue them sometimes. They're like, I'm gonna go win by myself. It's a team sport. So just understand that.
Absolutely.
All right, number 5, Dan, and the last one. I don't want people to have just fallen in love with the amazing Dan Shank and not be able to reach out to you again, ever again. It's like, oh, I heard that guy once on a podcast. Where did he go? All right. So, how can our listeners get in touch with you or follow you and your journey?
Well, the biggest one would be just adding me on Facebook, messaging me there, or emailing me, or calling me, or texting me.
Okay, right on. We will get Dan's contact info and put it in the show notes of this episode. Um, just last little thing, I just want a little update from you. I know that you had almost been in a legal battle with a company about rockets and was interested to see had anything come out of that. Do you have a big payday or has nothing changed?
Not really. Nothing's changed yet. We'll see. So
Okay. All
we
right.
had the,
And if
we
you're
had
interested, what's that?
I had the name first, that's for sure. But
That's right. Well, if anything ever comes of that, I want you back on this show and I want to talk all about it. And if you have questions about that story, go find Dan, find him on Facebook, reach out to him. I'm sure he'll be happy to share that story. All right, y'all. This has been great. It's been grand. I've enjoyed it. Dan, thank you so much for being here today. It was an absolute pleasure. Y'all, hit Dan up. He's a wealth of knowledge. Remember, don't just pick his brain, offer him some help. Go up to the UP, bring a jacket, take him to lunch, and go pet his pet pig, Emma. She's great.
yep.